This is SIKENA, and I'm tuned in to Intro to Info with my girl Mikeisha.
Greetings,
Welcome.
greetings,
Is it
greetings. It's the
Sakina?
Flowices here, and I'm tuned into Intro to Info with my girl Mikeisha. All love, always.
Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Intro to Info. I'm Mikeisha, your host, broadcasting live from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Hi, Wham Tam, who also hosts the show with myself. Tam is here. And Queen of Hearts has another engagement, so she is with us in spirit. And we have another special guest with us who's not hosting, but she's going to be interviewed tonight. Snitchy Smurf and I spent time with her the other day, and we had a ball. We can't wait for this particular topic because I think that our special guest will inform many people about her subject matters. Her name is Coach SIKENA. Let's talk about Coach SIKENA. All right. She is the founder of Holding On to Fitness, a wellness brand dedicated to helping women over 40 build strength, confidence, and consistency through fitness and self-care. With a background as a certified fitness trainer, she leads empowering classes including strength training, Zumba, HIIT, and soulful stretch sessions. Known for her uplifting energy and real-life coach approach, Coach SIKENA inspires women to prioritize their health while balancing busy lives. I know that's right. Let's welcome SIKENA Holden.
Thank you.
My first question is, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. And Wham Tam, I know
you for having me.
You're welcome. Wham Tam, I know you get nervous. Are you ready tonight? You ready, Tam?
Don't you do that.
Okay, sorry.
You up in the Ritz-Carlton, almost up in Marlboro.
Okay. Well, later for me and Tam.
We're going to talk about that later.
Okay, all right. Later for that. This subject matter is very important. And again, Snitchy Smurf and I talked to SIKENA, and she is a wealth of knowledge. So I want to get started. My first question is, SIKENA, you specifically focus on women over 40. What made you feel called to serve that group in particular?
Actually, because I'm over 40. So that's one of the reasons that I chose that particular age range. But also, I feel like as women, we get older, we have kids, our kids are in all these activities, we have relationships, we have work, we have so many things going on because, we're the backbone. We do everything, And the first thing that women put aside when everything comes about is their fitness, their health. You can meet somebody that's been in the gym, they was like in the gym from 20s. They may have been an athlete in high school and college. But once that real life sets in, that's when they just throw that to the side. And as we get older, that's when we especially need it. So that's when I was like, hey, that's my target audience, just keep them moving. We got to stay moving.
So fitness is important at all ages, but why do you think that there's such a downshift in women taking care of themselves and exercising, even when there is a lot for them to do? Why don't they incorporate that more than they do? Because it really is important.
It is, it's very important, but I wholeheartedly believe that it's just life takes over. You know, there are just so many women, like even my coworkers and friends, and I'm like, hey, you know, once you come to my class, or let's go work out or something like that. And then, oh, I gotta take my child to football practice, basketball practice, you know, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta work late, you know, and I'm just like, I understand that, you know, that is your priority, but if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of them, you know? And I just feel like they just don't think it's as important. So, and they just let it go. But as we get older, I mean, like you said, it's important throughout your lives to always be moving. But as you get older, those bones start to get stiff. You reach a certain age in life, which we were talking about the other day. You reach that turning point in life when that estrogen starts to fall and you get these aches and pains, and your chances of heart attack and diabetes starts to increase. That's when you really need it. You know, you need it the most now. So I just feel like life just gets in the way. And you can't let it.
So you use yourself as an example. I know that you have just as busy life as anybody else, but you make time to work out and teach classes. Well,
I
separate from those who don't find time.
well, for me, it's just a passion. It's just a passion. It's just something I've always enjoyed working out. It's just something that I enjoy doing. But as I was a single mom, I raised my two kids by myself, and when my kids were little, and where I was working, I was going to school. I had one daughter that was she did golf and basketball, and my other daughter, she was doing step, cheer, and track and field. But I made sure that I was going to work out, you know. And I remember I would just be dragging them to the daycare at the gym at the time, because back then I was like, oh, I got to be in the gym. I can't be working at home. I got to be in the gym working out, socializing, blah, 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 blah. And I would drag them to the gym with me, you know, and they would be in the little child care at Bally's. I know I'm dating myself saying how old I am, but if you remember Bally's, then you know. They would be in the childcare Bally's, and I would just go in there and get my workout on and leave. And even if I had to work out at home, you know, when my kids were younger, they knew if I'm working out, don't bother me. Act like I'm at the gym. This is my time, you know. And it's also a good way to just give you a type of peace, you know, a break from everything that's going on in the world. That's how I look at it. It's like my peace, you know. So that's how I take it. But yeah, it was just, and I was telling you this story the other day when I a couple of years ago, like in 2022, when I started going through a lot of different aches and pains, and I didn't know what was going on with me. You know, my hip was hurting, my back was hurting, then I went down to my knee, then my ankle, then my foot, and you know, I'm going around saying, you know, all these different doctors thinking something was wrong with me. And it was just, you know, just a change of life, just, you know, going through a certain stage of life. And those are, you know, the aches and pains and things that happen when you hit about 55 years old, you know. And that's you know, something that people don't talk about. So you didn't know, like I didn't know that's what was going on with me until I started doing some research and finding out, like, hey, this is the time has come, you have crossed over, you know, and you have to just start changing some things in your life. So that's what I did. And I try to encourage more women to, you know, to take that path and put yourself first for once. You know, we put everybody else before ourselves. We put that job before ourselves. Put yourself first.
Listen, ladies, listen up. So holding on to fitness is such a powerful name. What does holding on mean to you in this season of your life?
Um, just I guess it's just as it says. Well, I'm just trying to hold on. You know, we're trying to hold on to whatever we have. We're trying to hold on to life, hold on to our fitness, hold on, just whatever you have, even if it's just a little bit, just try to hold on to something. We can't continue to just give everything to everybody and not give anything to ourselves. So
one of my favorite things when I first met you is the way that you're able to think on your feet and just answer questions so eloquently. You didn't know what I was going to ask you. I gave you an idea, but you didn't have my set of questions, and you just are ready to just spew. And I'm enjoying this interview so far. I know that you provided us with some photographs and some videos, so I want to tell the listeners and the viewers that they have that to look forward to. In fact, Snitchy Smurf, after this question, I'm going to ask this question. SIKENA will answer. Wham Tam will ask any question that she has, and then we'll play the first video. My next question is, a lot of women in that age group are juggling everything, just like we just discussed, family, work, and stress. What's the biggest mindset shift you try to help them make first?
The biggest mindset shift. I want you to just believe and to think self-care. I'm really big on self-care. And when I say that, it may sound selfish, and some people may think it's selfish. But what I have learned is self-care is not selfish. Okay. And even if you just put yourself, and I'm gonna always say this, you will always hear me say, put yourself first. You can give yourself 30 minutes to an hour a day to do whatever it is that you want to do that's going to possibly extend your life or make you feel better mentally and physically. You can give yourself an hour, because we give everybody else a whole lot more time. So my thing is definitely self-care. I'm selfish.
Wham Tam, go ahead. The floor is yours. What questions might you have for SIKENA?
I might have a little bit of a lag, but I was just gonna say, yeah, you are dating yourself, because badly. My mother used to go.
Oh my Lord!
And they put my name hyphenated with hers on the card. I had my own membership card at like 10, because I refused to sit in the daycare. Okay.
See, my kids were in that daycare.
Ma'am. Back in the 90s.
Yes.
But it was my really like bodies. I don't like LA Fitness. I don't like no. Bally's lit, honey. And you said socializing, yes, because it was socializing.
It was a club
Not for me, but I'm just saying.
I mean, we worked out. It was a little acting, but in there.
I had fun. I loved it. And they had a women's room, a women's gym. So I just wanted to share that little.
Yeah, I'm dating myself. I know.
I remember Bally's.
I think what you're doing is great. And just wanted to ask, I know they went over 40, so I am 46. But once you hit 50, changes are there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, keep on. My friends always say, keep on living. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get to experience more things, and you really discover, I believe, at 40, you start discovering who you are, what you tolerate, what you accept, what is with you. So that's a part, I believe, of serious are and sticking to that and really expressing it,
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you for chiming in with that, Tam, and you dated yourself as well. I remember Bally's. I was a shorty. Like, I only remember it because you used to, go past it. I was about 5'6". I was young, I'm dating myself. So, okay, I'm just making a delineation between me and you guys. I'm kidding. I told you that I am 40. But I want to show you in action. So we have 4 videos. And I know, SIKENA, your favorite type of music to work out to is you said soca, right?
Soca, yes. I love my soca music.
Okay, so you guys will hear some soca throughout this episode. Snitchy Smurf, I think we're ready for the first video, dear heart.
Arms down to frame that front foot, extending the leg out, toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. Again, we're inhaling to receive the breath. And you're going to exhale over that extended leg, feeling a nice stretch in the hamstring, the ankle, the glute.
So that was an example of you stretching.
Yes, that was a sofa stretch class. That was actually a class I did at oh my goodness, I forgot the name of it. I can't remember the name, but I did a live class there. But that's just an example of my sofa stretch class, which I am a yoga instructor. But when I started going through all the pain that I was experiencing, I realized that stretching helped a lot. And then I took a course and became a certified stretch therapist, and I stretch every day. So what I've learned from stretching every day is that I don't have the pain anymore. As we get older, two of the things that we lose the fastest is muscle and flexibility. So as I get older, I don't want to be dependent on my children. I want to be able to get up off the sofa, get up off the toilet, get up off anything. And I don't want to be dependent on anybody. So when I'm stretching and I'm lifting my weights and doing whatever, it's because I want to continue to live a long life and be flexible and be strong and not be, not have anyone that I have to rely on. So I tell everybody, 10 minutes a day, stretch. When you wake up in the morning, just give yourself 10 minutes a day to stretch. Or you can come to Sofa Stretch. It's virtual.
Absolutely. You guys, if you're just walking on in here, live or in the rewind, this is Intro to Info, and we're talking to Coach SIKENA. She's given so many pearls and nuggets of wisdom. I'm enjoying myself, and I hope that you are doing the same. Now, you teach everything from strength training to soulful stretch. How do you decide what someone needs versus what they think they need?
For the most part, when I just teach my classes, and if people come, they come. If someone reaches out to me or asks me a question, if they're having something going on, then we'll go from there. Like I have, actually, I have a couple of men that have reached out to me because they have hip issues, in the gym, working out, lifting weights all the time, but they don't stretch. So as they're getting older, they're starting to have these hip issues, and they reach out to me for tips and, what can they do and stretches and things like that. So I normally go based off of what somebody comes to me and they tell me what their issues may be.
Very
But
good.
just overall, I'm just like, we just doing a full body stretch every day, 15 minutes. You see, I'm gonna keep raising it up every time.
Yeah, I beat that. So I thought it was 10. I know it's 9 o'clock at night, but I thought you just said 10 minutes. All
right.
Coach SIKENA, be real with me. What's one excuse? And you touched on this earlier about excuses or reasons people say they can't come to your class. But what's one excuse you hear all the time, and what do you usually say back?
What is the main excuse? A lot of women, I'm going to say women, their main excuse is normally either work or something they have to do with, their kids. They have, I got to take my child to a football game, or I got to take my child to basketball practice or something like that. So, yeah.
And what do you say back?
I try not to interfere with that, but my first question is anybody else that can take them?
You're not letting them off the hook that easy. I like that.
No. And you know what? I always use my sister-in-law as an example because during COVID, of course, when COVID happened, you had a lot of fitness instructors and gyms and things like that that quickly transitioned over to the virtual, the virtual classes. So my sister-in-law and my brother, they live in Florida, and my nephew plays baseball, and she would have to take him to baseball practice, and she'll text me and she's like, okay, I got to take him to baseball practice, but I got my weights in the car and I'm going to work out while he's having practice. So he would be on the field having his baseball practice, and she would be like in those like the cover areas where you have the picnics and stuff. She would be over there with her mat and her weights, and she would work out while he's having, he's doing his practice. That to me, that's dedication. I love it.
And this is an example of thinking outside of the box. I love stories like that, because don't tell me what you can't do. Find a way or make a way. Yes. Listen to you and how you make and incorporate time for it. People need to use people who are actually doing what it is they seek out to do. Look at them as a muse, as an example, and mimic it if you can't think of something on your own.
Right, exactly.
There's nothing new under the sun. The Bible tells us that. So if you're having a hard time conjuring how you can incorporate time to work out, it's Coach SIKENA. And I know that Snitchy Smurf has your contact, your Instagram. Follow her and just look at her page and then copy off what she's doing if it's an excuse. Thank you. Yeah. And ladies who need to work out but don't, screenshot that, follow Coach SIKENA, and let's get started. This is not a game. A lot of people in healthcare, they're asked, well, why do you work out? And they say, because I see what not working out does to the body and what it does to
yes.
If you want to elaborate on that?
Well, it's simple. It's just like, if you feel like you can't, I think there's a comparison. Like, if you don't want to work out, or you don't want to work out for whatever reason, but just imagine what your body is like now, or what you're going through now in comparison to what you could be like, so you may say, oh, I'm too tired to do this now, or I don't feel like doing this now, but that could be your answer right now. But imagine what it's going to be like in a few years or a couple of years with you not doing it. And you can always say, like, even me, I can be a little bit harsh on myself, thinking, oh, well, I'm not really where I want to be, physically, or, body wise, or whatever. But you always have to think of yourself as, where would you be if you weren't doing what you're doing now? And the whole goal is to just start, start walking, start toe tapping. There's just so many different things. And if people try to say, oh, well, I don't like working out, and my answer to that is that it's not that you don't like working out. Maybe you just haven't found something that you enjoy doing, so that to me, that's the most important thing, finding out what you like to do. Like me, I like dancing. So that's why I teach Zumba. I like dancing. I like shaking. So
what's the thing you were saying the other day? Dropping it low. What was the term you kept using? What did you say?
I probably was saying something like dropping it low. I like to drop it low or something like that. Or I wish I could, or whatever. Yeah, I probably was saying that.
Now that you mentioned, Snitchy Smurf, is now a good time to roll one of the other videos. You said Zumba. We have a Zumba clip. Hey. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. So energetic and lovely, and they were doing it. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. And I'll say this, make it fun. Like you just said. Let me tell y'all something. This is my favorite singer right here.
Is
Okay,
that
I will
Janet?
go. Yeah, that's who that is. Janet Jackson. So I will put on Janet and be in my own world outside in the
Yes.
trailblazer. It's a pretty day. And Janet has a book called True You, and she was talking about how she keeps herself in shape. And she said, "Movement is movement." Sakina, to your point, it doesn't matter what you do. Movement is movement. So if you
Yes.
want to go volunteer and lift boxes for the elderly, that's movement. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
like working out, it doesn't have to be working out. Again, thinking
No.
outside the box, but still getting the calories burnt is the point.
Yes. It could be as simple as, when you go to the store or go shopping, or even when you go to work, when you go to work, don't park so close up to the building. Park a little bit further away, get those extra steps in. It could be just something as simple as that. Like I said, you have to start somewhere. It's just important that you start.
Right.
That's it.
Agreed. And so, Tam, I know that something is resonating with you, and I know how great of a time that you always have on Intro to Info. And so, what is standing out to you so far in this interview? I know she has a lag, but just a little one. Okay, I don't know if she can hear me, and that's okay, because I'll respond. What resonated the most with me so far, it's multiple things, but my favorite is the fact that you said that to make it fun, and the fact that it needs to be done. And like you said, starting at 40, you said that that's even more important than when you're younger, because that's when the body goes through all of these changes. We talked about, what is that, perimenopause, menopause, the age change?
Perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopausal. Yes. Yes. I
And
like to
so,
call it the devil. Look.
and right, and you were saying how, like, your whole you broke it down to a science the other day. You're saying that how your whole body as a woman just changes when these things start to happen.
Mm-hmm. I was saying that it changes, but menopause is not something that was greatly researched previously. So they really didn't know anything about it, and then you have, I'm going to say, men. They want to be the ones doing the research and giving the advice, but yet, I feel like you don't have the parts that we have. You don't know what we're going through. So, whereas, coming up, you probably, and if it was even discussed when you were coming up, because it's not even something that's greatly discussed, because like I told you, I have friends that, they just act like it's not something that they go through. It's not something that is greatly discussed. I'm a different type of person. I'm bringing it out there and I'm putting it out there, and we're going to have a conversation about it, because I do believe in each one teach one. We're supposed to be girlfriends, and we're supposed to uplift each other. If we're all going through something, or maybe, you may be like, I have a set of girlfriends that are a couple of years older than me, and then I have some that are my age. And, I told you, I went to the ones that are older than me, and I'm like, hey, what is going on with this? Like, I told you, I thought I had some type of illness or something. Like, I was in my last days, and one of my friends responded and was like, yeah, my grandmother said it's a part of life. You just deal with it. And I'm just like, this is crazy. This is crazy. But now, they're doing more research on it. There are more things that are out there to accommodate women that are going through that. But, the symptoms that you have are that you could possibly go through, other than just the night sweats. All those aches and pains that I was going through, and I was talking about my hip, my back, my knee, all that was related to menopause, you know? But what I found out, that strength training and that stretching helps a lot. It helps a whole lot. So, yeah.
Strength training and stretching has helped
Yes.
Coach Sakina
Has
a
helped me
lot.
a lot. Yes.
Confidence is a big part of your message. Have you personally had moments where your confidence was low? What helped you rebuild it, if so?
I think that's something you just have to work your way through. Um, I've had instances when I've dealt with imposter syndrome, you
Mm.
know, And I feel like social media is really big with that, because when you are looking at social media and you're seeing other people that may be doing the same thing that you're doing, or in the same business that you're doing, and it appears like they may be more successful at what you're doing than you are, or where you think you're supposed to be at that time. But social media can be a lie or a liar. And we just have to realize, and this is what I tell myself, that everything happens on its own timing, you know, and that's just how I carry it. Like, when it happens, when it's time, the door is going to open up, and whatever it is that you're trying to do or trying to get to, or, the body that you're trying to get, whatever it may be, you just have to keep at it. But when it's time, it's going to happen. And that's just what I tell myself. When it's
Yes.
time, it'll happen. Those doors will start swinging open.
Yeah, one of my favorite singers, Amy Grant, she says everything in your life is right on time. To your point, I'm just seconding
Yes,
what it is that you're saying. And
exactly.
so when we get to comparing ourselves, understand that is happening for that person, because that's their life, that's their story.
That's their
And
story.
you have to respect the way that God has your life playing out to the best of your ability, because it's always that human element that's going to do that anyway, that's going to compare yourself to somebody else. But the other part is people who are much older than myself, and more successful, say, people are so jealous of me, but they don't know all the blood, sweat, and tears and hell that I
Did
went
you?
through to get what it is that I have today. So, and we live in a society where people want stuff without doing the work, and it doesn't
Right.
work like that.
Exactly. They do. But I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing with, even with, bodies and fitness, when they want that certain body, or that
Sure.
perfect body. Nobody really wants to put the work into it. Um, but it doesn't. Who says that's supposed to be your body, or the perfect body? But it starts with just loving yourself.
There's some people who, what is today, April 23rd, and they want a summer body. They a size 24 type, they want a summer body by summer. And they said, they said, what can I do? I'm like, well, it ain't shit you can do this fast, but that's the kind of what we're talking about. Wanting it that
Yeah.
fast. You wanted a summer body in 2026. You should have started when, Coach SIKENA. When should they have started their size 24? When? Huh?
Consistency is key.
There you go.
Consistency is key. So, first of all, we're going to embrace the body that we have. Now, will you? I don't know. You're not going to be. It depends on what you think a summer body is, or what the goal is. But you got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Start now, and you may, like I said, you may not be where you want to be, but if you start now, you'll be closer to where you want to be by the summer. How about that?
That's right. And then they'll say things like that and then eat 2 donuts. And I'm like, oh. and sit there. Like, they won't, after they say that, they won't get up and walk. They're going to eat 2 donuts and they say, I want a summer body by was it June 21st? And then they eat some Krispy Kreme. I'm like, and be sedentary for the rest of the day. I'm like, good luck with that, boo.
It takes time. They'll get there when they're ready. It takes time.
Your energy is uplifting. Since I have known you in this short period of time, is uplifting. But how do you pour into yourself so that you don't get drained, pouring into other people, trying to inspire them?
I don't ever see it as draining, because I feel like this is my passion. And this is what I want to do, and I want to be here for other people, to pour into them, and to motivate them, and to encourage them. But as I said earlier, I am selfish. I take my self-care time. Um, I'm not gonna miss a workout unless I'm just extremely tired. And if you've seen, I don't know how far you went through my Instagram page, but you look further enough, you'll see me in there dancing, and then doing indoor walking, because I got to get those 10,000 steps in. And it's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's 10 o'clock at night. Let me put this soaker on and let me start marching and moving and carrying on, because I know that's what brings me peace. That's what's gonna settle my brain. People may look at me and be like, girl, you need to go to sleep. No, my mind won't let me go to sleep until, that is part of my self-care, my rest and relaxation. So yeah, that's what I do to pour into myself. I'm gonna get my steps and my workout in.
No, I would love to know about, because you have the fitness part going on. You got it going on right there.
Mm-hmm.
What's your diet like? Do you indulge in steak or is it salad? Like
No.
what's your kitchen looking like?
So, it's funny because my oldest daughter, she'll come over when she come over to visit, and she brings her own snacks. And she says that we don't ever have any sweet snacks and stuff in here. So, with that being said, um, I disagree with that. I just may not have the snacks that she wants, but I have snacks. But as for my diet, first of all, I'm a junk food junkie. I love junk food. So therefore I cannot buy junk food. I really try not to buy it. I try not to keep it in my house because I like it
Mm-hmm.
you know. But as for my diet, I am pescatarian. I don't eat, I only eat seafood. I was vegetarian for a couple of years, and then one of the things that I transitioned back to once I started going through menopause, I started back eating seafood because after doing research on it, they were saying that as women get older and they start to go through menopause, they should be eating seafood and fish, salmon especially, and walnuts for brain health and things like that. So I switched back to eating seafood, so I am pescatarian. I try to eat a salad every day, because that raw vegetables are supposed to be better for your body, so I try to eat a salad every day. I do protein shakes one a day, just because the whole thing, another thing, as you get older you need more protein.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're, when I wasn't eating meat, even though they say, oh, you can get your protein in if you're a vegetarian, I had a difficult time getting protein in when I was a vegetarian. So I do a protein shake once a day, and I eat like plain yogurt with berries. I love fruit. um yeah. But my timing, I will be honest, my timing of eating can be really bad. Like,
Me too.
because I tend to work late sometimes, and I'll be eating dinner like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And my sister's like, why are you eating so late? But, that's just the way things go. But I did find that when I meal prep, it's much easier to stay on task. So that is the hard part for me, the diet. Yeah. But they say, don't do as I do as I say.
That's right. That's right. Don't do what she do. Don't eat late at night like that. You make your
No,
last
don't do
meal at
that.
6 o'clock or something like that.
Right,
5 a.m.
exactly.
Snitchy Smurf, go to the next video of Coach SIKENA getting down, please. Roll it.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, let's go, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Lift it out. Stop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's actually homebody hit.
Homebody hit.
Homebody hit, yes. It's a virtual hit class.
You just left class now, didn't you? You just
Yes,
taught
I
a
had
class.
a Zumba class.
How did it go tonight?
It was good. It was nice. It's an outdoor class. It's through Prince George's County, so I do teach with them. It's through Prince George's County, and it's free. I like to put that out there. And it was fun. I like being outdoors anyway, so I got a good group of people, and we had a good time.
Yeah, I was there, right?
Were you? I was like, wait a minute now. I was like, but I did not see anybody look like her, but hey, who knows?
Oh my goodness. Tam, I know that you able to hear me, Tam?
Our sister is doing her best. She's having a bit of technical difficulty, but just give her a few moments. She's got a little buffering time. There she is.
Tam, can you hear me?
Is that me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, I didn't realize you was homegrown. So that's wonderful. So where do you teach these classes in Pretty Girl?
Say that, Pretty Girl County. Is that what she said? Pretty Girl County?
That's what she said.
Okay. It's so funny because somebody else, we were just talking about how they used to call Prince George's County Pretty Girl County back in the day. Again, dating myself. But I actually, like I said, I teach through Prince George's County, and they have a program called Fitness in the Park. So they offer free fitness classes in all these different parks in Prince George's County, and they're outside. So I teach Zumba on Thursdays at 6 p.m. at Fairwood Park in Bowie off of 450. 450. Yes, I'm trying to think of the MLK. I'm gonna say MLK. So that's where I teach on Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 10:30. I teach at Columbia Park Community Center, which is off of MLK in Lanham. So I teach those, and then of course I have my home body hit class, which is a virtual class that I teach on Zoom on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. So you can work out from the comfort of your home. Again, got to start somewhere. So come on.
Yep. And that's the beauty of you being in our area. A lot of the people that we interview are, across the United States and even abroad. But the fact that you're in this county and a lot of our listeners live near us, they can come to your class and say, yeah, I listen to Intro to Info. That's why I'm here. So hopefully that happens.
Come on, please. I encourage you. Come on out. You'll have a good time. Definitely. Especially if you like to shake it.
And Pretty Girl County girls, these women, they love to shake it. Because I just was with them I was at a concert last night. They were shaking it to 5 in the morning. I mean, it was okay. So,
Pancake house.
Yeah, right. We're having fun. I hope we get the information out there, but this is quite fun. So, Coach Akita, for someone over 40 who feels like it's too late for me,
but I am familiar with.
Ma'am, what did you say? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for cutting you off.
Don't worry about
it. So go back to what you were going to say, because I'm going to stop and let you speak. Okay. All right. So until Tam gets it together. So my question for you, SIKENA, was for someone who is over 40 who feels like it's too late for me, what would you say to them?
It's never too late. It is never too late. And you know what? I always I don't know. And if anyone has time to after the show, they can do it now actually, but they can Google. I think her name is Ernestine Shepherd. Are you familiar with who she is?
No, not yet.
She's out of Baltimore, and she is, I believe, one of the oldest female bodybuilders. She was at one point. She didn't start her fitness journey until she was like in her mid 40s. And if I'm not mistaken, she and her sister were supposed to start it together. And then her sister ended up passing away. But she is, I want to say maybe in her 70s, maybe 80s. She lives in Baltimore and she still teaches fitness classes. still fit and still teaches fitness classes. That is my goal. That is where I want to be at that age.
That's wonderful.
It is. Check her out. It is. But I also grew up with like my mom. My mom was, like I tell people, my mom was the first Black woman I ever saw doing yoga because, back in the day, yoga was, I hope I can say this, but that was a white person's thing. You didn't see a lot of Black people doing yoga, and my mom was doing yoga when I was in elementary school, high school, forever. And I remember like I said, I've always worked out because I just enjoy it. But I remember when I was like in my 20s going to Bally's, and my mom would tell me, "Oh, you need to stop doing all that cardio. You need to do some weights. You need to stretch." And I'm like, "Girl, yoga is for old people." And I can see myself now. I'm like, yoga is for old people. I need to be jumping and punching and doing something, And it's so funny when I think about that now that I'm a yoga instructor. I don't know if that means I'm old now or what, but I'm a yoga instructor now.
No.
But But that's what I saw. My mom would walk. She would always go walking, and even now she still goes walking. She would do weights, she would do the yoga, all of that stuff, the homeopathic lifestyle. My mom is vegetarian, so even though it's just something that I just enjoy, but my mom was the first person that I saw doing this, which I'm sure had a lot of emphasis on me. And that's why I say it's never too late. It is never too late. Unless you're gone, that's the only time. So start at any time. And now you have a lot of trainers out there and a lot of people that are catering to an older community because people are living longer as well.
Yes. And that's one other thing that I definitely want to touch on is living a long time is one thing, but quality of life is another.
Yes.
And I hear many people talk to God and say, please don't let me lose my quality of life as I age.
Yeah. You're probably hearing me. Yeah.
Okay, you
I'm one of them. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think I mentioned it a lot on my Instagram page, or I may do like a post that, movement is a gift. To be able to get up and walk or do some squats or whatever you can do, that's a gift because everybody can't do that. Especially as we get older. It is definitely a gift.
Mm-hmm. And
And
then
I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, and I really witnessed that firsthand again when I go back to the years when I was going through all that pain, not knowing what was wrong with me. And I'm thinking, like I told you, I was like, Lord, I must have rheumatoid arthritis or something because I kept going through the pain with my hip, my back, everything. And even though then despite all of that pain, I kept moving. I was still teaching my classes and I was still working out. Now I was, popping on a leave before the class. But, it's like I knew that if I had stopped because of the pain, I didn't know if I would ever start back. Because when you stop and take that time off and then the body gets stiff and then you're in more pain and then it really, really hurts to get started and you just don't want to go back. And I was like, you cannot do that. So definitely we had even if it's just, taking some steps, walking, something, just
right.
something.
And we can do so much in 24 hours. When you talk about those 10,000 steps, that really is, I hate to say this because I don't want to, that's not that hard for somebody who is in good health and who has the capacity to do it throughout the course of 24 hours, I'm saying. And if you do it in one pop, I think it takes, I think it takes an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. If you just do it straight away, that's what it takes. And so one of the other creative ways that you can work out is you don't have to just be walking, right? You can be walking and answering emails. You can be walking and talking to your man. You could be walking and watching SIKENA's videos to get more inspiration. you know, that's another way that it's never gonna get old. I know I ordered Walmart Plus, so I walk and do my grocery shopping while I'm walking. So you could listen to podcasts like this one or audio
watch
books.
TV. You can watch TV.
Watch TV.
Yeah. It was one time I did. I don't know who has Pinterest, and this was a couple of years ago. And I just be sitting, let me Google this and see if what comes up. And I was just like, let me see if they have binge workouts, right? So I went on Pinterest and Googled binge workouts, which means, when people are binge watching some show, on Netflix or whatever, if it's a popular show, like somebody may have done a workout for it. So at this particular time, this was a couple of years ago, there was a binge workout for Friends. You remember the show Friends?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was just something like, every time Rachel does such and such, do squats, or every time Joey does such and such, do push-ups. But they do have, like, if you like watching TV, they have shows that you can, you can do a workout to. That's why I'm like, there's no reason for people to not move their bodies, because there's something for everybody. Again, this was some years ago, but if you have Pinterest, just go look and see if you find something, while you're catching up on Beauty in Black or something.
Yeah, Coach SIKENA, do you have a fitness watch?
I have an Apple Watch, yes.
Yes, I love this thing. Oh my gosh, I love this thing.
I'm addicted to it. I am. Yeah. This is like my third one, I think.
Yes.
Oh, see, it's telling me I got to stand.
See? It tells you when to stand. It is just phenomenal. It tracks your steps wonderfully. You know, you can customize your picture. Look, guys, I have Janet on here. Janet is
likes Janet.
I love me some Janet. So Apple Watches and Fitbits as well. And
Fitbits are good. Yeah. I had a Fitbit and it was really good. And I actually would connect with like other people, like my coworkers and stuff, and you could join groups and all this other stuff, and it was rather competitive, which I thought got to be a little stressful.
Okay, all right.
But it's, if that's your thing, if competition is your thing, that's one way, to get moving or whatever. Get a Fitbit and join groups with other people, and y'all walk and see who can get the most steps for the week.
I'm that girl, and I'm my father's child. And shout out to Wham Tam again, who's hosting the show with me. My dad's birthday was April 20, and she dropped by and gave him a gift. She made some fabulous seafood salad for my dad.
Ooh,
and my dad. So
good.
The Curry Sports and Learning Complex. He goes there and swims, and he's so competitive. And they tell him Michael Best would do anything to win. So he's competitive. And I think I took that trait after him because to your point, us at Howard, we have a step tracker, and I'm always on there plotting how I'm gonna be first. Plotting.
Yes.
I'd look at it throughout the day and be like, hold on, how many they got?
How many steps I need?
Boss, I'll be right back. I gotta go upstairs real quick. Yes. But you said it's a little shuffle, but for me, let me try. I'll kick your behind out here. So anyway, I know, Snitchy, we have one more video, and may you please play that right now. I like that one. You're really moving in that one.
Thank you.
Tam, you going to Coach SIKENA's class and hang out with her?
Come on, come join me.
Look at her.
She's like, I don't know about that.
Hey.
Look, Wham Tam is my friend in real life. That's my good friend in real life. Coach SIKENA,
I love it.
What has this journey taught you about discipline?
It is, I would say you have to stick with it, and it just, whether it's fitness, and like we were discussing before, how you can get a little bit intimidated by other fitness influencers or other coaches that, may appear to be where you want to be. It could get a bit discouraging, but I would say the most thing will be to stick with it. If I feel like if it's really your calling and it's really something that you want to do, and that's with anything, the discipline comes when you don't give up and you don't stop, and you may get discouraged, and as they say, you may fall down, but you get back up. Definitely.
That's right. This has inspired me plenty. I have one last question. And I want you to also leave people with whatever it is that you want to leave them with. And I know Snitchy will put up your info so that people can. Oh, yeah, we love that one. Thank you, Snitchy. Zumba, because zombies will eat the slow ones first. We were laughing about that the other day. That's so funny. Yeah, so these are some of pictures of SIKENA in action. Is this you stretching or doing yoga?
I was stretching. We're doing yoga, but that is, King Pigeon.
Me and Tam gonna see if we can do that after this show. Tam, we put that. Hey, Snitchy, put that up there one more time so I can try to. Okay, thank you, dear. Okay,
Get them ice packs ready, and we will get them ready.
The downward dog.
Right now.
Ice is your friend, believe me, no matter what.
I'm gonna need a whole cool.
When women leave your classes, what do you hope they feel, not just physically but emotionally and mentally?
I would say if this is the beginning of their journey, I hope that it encourages them to continue with their journey. Don't give up, and most importantly, like I'm gonna say this every single time, put yourself first. Give yourself that. You need it. And it goes back to the saying, what they say, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Indeed.
So I look at fitness as, it's kind of relaxing. And again, you choose what you like to do. If it's walking, cycling, like some people love cycling. It's not my thing. I always say it's not my thing because it hurts. But you choose what you like and you do it, So I just want them to feel like they can do more, and they can continue to put themselves first and continue with their journey, and all it takes is to move, and that is one of my things you will always see me say. I just want you to move. I'm not saying you have to put on all the muscle in the world, or you have to be a size 2. I just want you to move, because just movement is, where it begins. So, yeah.
And when you mentioned cycling hurts, first of all, I can relate, but the one exercise that I love, but it hurts, is walking up and down the steps. Like, I'm so obsessed with walking up. But when I tell you going up, woo, child,
yeah. Yeah. It does. Yeah, it is not. It's you do it because you want to get better, but it's good for that heart, man, because that heart just be pumping going up them stairs. And look, I know, because we had Take Your Child to Work Day today, and there were a whole lot of kids there. So when I walked in, yes. So when I walked into the building, they were all like, some were coming out the building. They were waiting to get on the elevator. And I'm a bag lady because I teach on Thursday. So when I go to work, I got a gym bag, my laptop bag, my work bag, my lunch bag. So I got all these bags, and they're all waiting for the elevator. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just take the stairs. So I took the stairs up with all those bags. And I was just like, wow, this is quite. And see, what I'm thinking is, wow, this is quite a workout.
Well, so Coach SIKENA, you have been such a fabulous and enlightening person to interview this evening. Thank you for being a guest on Intro to Info, and thank everybody for their listenership. Thank you, Wham Tam. Thank you, Snitchy Smurf, J King. I know that Snitchy Sniff she's going on that cruise, and so is most of the J King Network. So we will be offline next Thursday, but we'll do a repeat, and we'll be back on that following week. So Snitchy, have a great time on your cruise. God bless everybody. Have a good week. Coach SIKENA, keep up the great work. Keep doing the Lord's work, dear. Thank you so much. And
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. You.